Alright, y'all, today I'm just going to be sharing my testimony that I had of the rapture. At the time that I had this testimony, or what I call a vision, I was trying to grow closer to God and whatnot, just trying to better myself spiritually and mentally. And if you don't believe in all that, you don't have to watch the video, everyone has their own thoughts, beliefs, and opinions. No one's here to judge if you don't choose to believe or follow it. Not trying to force anybody to watch something they don't want to, but the way the vision started out was the house that I was staying on at the time was kind of out more in the country, if you want to say, the sticks. We had a lot of dry grass and some, property, if you want to say. And it was me and my buddies in my backyard. This is how the vision started. I remember seeing, we were just in the backyard studying the Bible for some reason. I don't know how it all started. That's just when I came conscious of this vision. We were looking down on our books. And I remember looking at my book, and the sky, like out of my peripheral vision, the sky turned like dark. And it was just sunny, bright blue sunny, but the sky turned dark out of nowhere. And it didn't turn dark in like the flick of a light, but it kind of just went and took over the sky with darkness. It was weird. And the sun was out, and the sun had turned red when this darkness covered the sky. It turned the sun red, which was definitely strange. We all noticed what was going on. We seen everything get dark, and we were all looking at the sun because it was like blood red. Kind of like my shirt right here almost. It was strange. And we saw, when we looked at the sun, it split into 7 different suns, and it's so strange. Like, here's one sun, right? And it kind of just, out of one sun, turned into 7. It was definitely weird. And we were shocked, the sun just split into 7 different suns. What's going on? This is where it gets weird. We're looking at the 7 different suns, and underneath the suns, slowly, like, these shadows slowly appeared from underneath the sun. And as you're looking at it, like, you can start to identify the shape of the shadow, and they were shadows of angels. Like, you couldn't see the actual, you couldn't actually see their body or nothing, but you just saw their shadow. And this is kind of what it looked like right here. That's what we were looking at, right? And they were huge. They were massive. Like, words really can't describe how big these angels were that we were looking at. It was beyond comprehension. But once we saw the angels, in our hearts, we kind of felt that we knew it was the rapture. We knew the rapture was happening. The trumpets didn't blow yet, but we knew like this was what was going on. The rapture is about to happen. And if you pay attention to the scripture, it says the trumpets will sound, and that's when the rapture happens. We didn't hear the trumpets yet, but we knew it was happening. And so we saw the shadows of the angels, right? And we all fell to our knees. We were already sitting there reading our books, but we kind of just, buried our face in the dirt, started praying, because we knew what was going on. And I remember looking up, like kind of peeking my head up to see what else was going on. And out of nowhere, it doesn't really make any sense, but out of nowhere, when I looked up, there was these rows of people in front of me, and there were all these, I believe they were spirits being raptured, is what I believe I saw. But they were all flying upwards towards like the area where the sun was, because when I looked up, there was also the moon was also out, which didn't make sense. Like, there was, the 7 suns were still there, but the moon was also out. Like, that wasn't there before any of that stuff happened. So that part didn't really make sense to me. But I remember seeing all these spirits or souls, whatever you want to call them, flying up from out of the ground. By the thousands, really. There's a lot of people going up there, and I believe those were people that were being raptured. Sorry for me stuttering. I ain't no public speaker or nothing. I just had to share my testimony. I've been praying for a while when he wanted me to share it, and I feel now is the time. But this is kind of what it looked like right here. So here's the moon, and these are all like the spirits. They're pretty weird looking spirits, right? But yeah, They were all just flying up. And there were, like I said, there was rows and rows of people in front of me. Let me find that one real quick. So as I'm looking at these spirits fly up, I'm also looking in front of me. And I'm looking at all these rows of people. And there was tons of people, like obviously too many to count. There was definitely more people in this big old crowd / line than there was going up. I mean, there was billions. I mean, I don't even know how they all fit on the property we had, but that's not how it worked. But I remember looking at the people, and I could see like a glimmering light at the end of them, like way at the end of them, and it was like moving around and stuff. And it was like, I don't know. It was dark outside, but there was just this light in front of the crowd, right? And I'm watching it, and I'm kind of paying attention to it. And it's kind of, it's moving around, glistening and glimmering. And it didn't make any sense to me until I figured out what it was I was looking at, right? So I showed you the picture of the souls being saved. This is what I was looking at. So, I mean, this was, what I could, as many circles as I could put representing the people I saw being judged. And I come to find out the light that I was looking at, if I'm not mistaken, was either the judgment angel or a judgment angel. I'm not positive, But somehow my vision focused onto that light. Like I remember, like it was almost like tunnel vision. I just zoomed in on that light, and I saw what was creating the light. And it was the angel's armor. She was wearing this armor, and it was like what I call so holy and pure that it was like illuminating its own light. It was creating its own light because it was so pure. Holy, it was crazy. I mean, it's nighttime, right? And you just see a light at the end, kind of luminescing. I don't know. It was strange. But so when I realized it was a judgment angel, I was able to hear the conversations between this angel and other people that she was judging, and it was a female, because I could hear her voice. It was a very a powerful voice for a female, but it was a female. And I could hear the conversations between the people she's judging and everything they did in life. And when I say that, I mean like everything, from the things they posted on social media to the way it affected other people's life. Everything, you're held accountable for everything. It's crazy. But so I'm kind of listening to these conversations of there was one in particular I'm talking about right now. Because it was really like the only conversation I heard. I didn't hear all the conversations. I was just able to hear this one. And I was so far away from what was going on. I don't understand how I was able to hear it, but it's like I was able to hear it the way you're able to hear me right now. Like we're talking right next to each other. But it was almost like they were, I could hear it telepathically in my head almost. Because, we're so far away. How can I hear it so clear? It's like the words were coming into my head and I can hear the conversation. And she was judging this person, even off the things, like I said, he had posted on Facebook and the way it affected other people's life. If I'm not mistaken, in the Bible it says, you could be held accountable for harsh words, because even those certain words will harden the hearts of other people. That's, it's not of Christ. Christ is all about love. He just wants you to give the best image of him you can, do the will of him and repent. That's what it comes down to. Correct me if I'm wrong, But I remember the judgment angel, she's judging people. I hear the conversation, and it clicked in my head. There were some words I really wanted to hear. I feel like I needed to hear these words. And when I was growing up, I used to watch a lot of these testimony videos of other people's testimonies. And I remember this one guy. He had he heard the words "depart from me," and in this vision I had, for some reason that clicked in my head. I was like, well, hold on, because at this point I had seen enough, I didn't want to see anything else. So I was like trying to turn back around, go in my house and like grab a cup of water or something crazy like that. But it clicked in my head. I was like, I need to hear these words real quick. And I heard them. I heard the words "depart from me." And after the angel had finished those words, there was like this portal that opened up kind of right next to her little throne she was sitting on. It wasn't a throne, but it was like, this big gold chair. It was just a big gold chair she was sitting on. It was strange. She said the words apart from me, and this portal opened up, and that man was sucked in. Portal just closed. And I didn't know what had just happened. It didn't hit me that that person was just sent to hell. I didn't know that yet. I'll get into that part because I ended up going through that portal too. And I'll get to that here soon, but yeah, like I said, I'd seen enough. I was trying to turn back around, go into my house where I felt comfortable and safe, and just trying to get some water. But as I was walking back towards my house, the ground had cracked like an earthquake, and like it went down. It was far, and there was this I would say it was like a protector of God. It was definitely a weird creature, but it had like multiple legs, right? Like this, like a spider. It was kind of crawling and not crawling, but it stopped me from going into my house. It blows that. Had the bottom, its lower half was just like, I don't know, 8 legs, and the upper torso was also another female or male. I can't fully remember, but she was wearing armor. He was wearing armor. Had this sword and shield, right? And he said, "You're not going anywhere." I was like, "All right, don't tell me twice, you know. I'm not here to disobey." So I turned back around, and I was watching everything happen. And as I was seeing the souls, go up to the moon. I mean, I'd seen someone just go through this portal sent to hell. I was hearing these, this conversation of judgment happen. I started looking back at the souls, and I'm curious. I'm like, it hits me like, why am I just standing here watching these souls go up, And it kind of hit me like, I asked myself, have I been left behind? Like, did I not do your will like I thought I was doing? Because there's a lot that are deceived on the earth, and the Bible says it. Lucifer is not an idiot. I read this quote one day, and it said, like, Lucifer is the type of person to have a cup of tea with you, to draw you in, Will never come to you in his, original form, shall I say. So I kind of accepted my fate. I thought that I wasn't saved, and it was crazy. I started crying, and I fell to my knees. I started praying. I was like, Lord, why am I being left behind? I've always believed in you. Whatnot, I thought I was doing the will and the work of you and whatnot. And it hurt. The pain was unbearable. It was a different type of pain, different emotion. It's like that pain where you're just heartbroken, even your heart hurts. You're just like, whoa, you're numb. It was crazy. So when I felt that pain, I remember looking back up towards the moon, and I saw a spirit coming down from the moon, right? And it was like slowly drifting downwards towards the earth. Yeah, it was weird, but as it was slowly coming down, I'm like looking at it because everything else is going up. Why is one spirit coming down? And I start to see it come a little closer towards me, probably like, I don't know, 100 feet in the air or something, I don't know. And it was so strange. It took the form of a dragon. This white spirit took the form of a dragon. And like the dragon, it kind of looked like a Japanese dragon, if you know what I'm talking about, one of those ones. It looked really cool. But yeah, he came down, the spirit came down, and it took the form of that dragon. It was strange, and it came like this close to my face. And it kind of stared at me for a second, and it handed me this bouquet of flowers, which was really weird. Like, it was this really pretty bouquet of flowers. And like I said, just prior to this, I was asking the Lord why I hadn't been saved. And that spirit came down, and it handed me this big old, it was big bouquet of flowers. Super pretty. It was like nothing I've seen before. And it handed me this dragon with this claws or arms. It handed me this bouquet of flowers. And I remember grabbing them and taking them and just putting them like right to my heart and squeezing like so hard, because I realized that I was saved. That was me being saved. And I remember like falling back because I was just filled of I was just overwhelmed. I was too overwhelmed, like everything I've seen, everything I've experienced. I fell back and I fainted. And as I fainted, I don't know how long it was that I was out for in this vision or dream or whatever. But I remember coming back to consciousness and everything's still going on, but I also hear the little group of people I was with. I heard like laughing and cheering. Like these people were clapping their hands for me. My friends were, because they knew that I was saved, and they were as well. They were happy that I was going with them, and it was just a crazy feeling. But anyway, I get the flowers. I realize that I'm saved, right? And I look back at the crowd, everyone being judged, and I'm just kind of watching the portal open, just sucking people in, like one after another, and it just didn't even make sense to me. I was like, what are these people even being like, I don't know, judged for? It was a lot. But then I remember I started feeling like this like a force kind of pull me that way towards this angel. Like something was pulling me, and when I say pulling, like really pulling, like I had no control. I was just being pulled towards this angel, and I had no control. But as I was going forward, that portal opened, the portal of hell that I was mentioning about earlier, and I went into it. I got sucked into it, and I mean, what I saw, and I guess you should say hell. In the Bible, it describes hell as a lake of fire. I'm not saying it's not a lake of fire. It wasn't for me. But I mean, that could just be, maybe that was for a way so that I could understand what it was I was experiencing, you know. But I remember when I got sucked into that portal, it was terrifying. Like, it was, what I was experiencing, me personally, was a lot of mental torment. It wasn't any physical torment, but it was just mental, like, I mean, you'll go insane. Mad insane. It's like, it was terrible. I'm stressing even thinking about it. But yeah, it was weird. I'm being sucked through this. I'm gonna say it was either my personal hell or a level of hell. I'm not sure. But it was like what I saw was it kind of reminded me of like a dark carnival almost. What I was seeing, at least. There's a lot of these. You know those wheels, like the hypnosis wheels, how it spins around and stuff? I saw some of those just floating in like midair. They were just floating, spinning around, and I saw this creepy face of like a jester clown, and had like sharp teeth and like creepy eyes, and it was just laughing, you know, just laughing at me and stuff. And everything, it was all loud too. It was super loud. What I was like, I could hear it too. Everything was crazy loud. And that's what I'm saying. It was like a lot of mental torment. I mean, not only was I seeing and hearing this stuff, I was also experiencing like things I had done in life in my head. I was seeing it, like reliving it almost. It was messed up. It was in a good place. And I was just getting a glimpse of it. I didn't stay or anything. I was just getting sucked through it again to see what it was like. And then I came to this other part of hell, and I'm not sure who this person was, but I'm not even sure how I got to their version of hell, shall I say. But I remember after I got through what I experienced in hell, I remember I was just kind of on this little body of water. And as strange as it sounded, I was walking on the water, right? And there were these lily pads. And I was kind of walking from lily pad to lily pad, walking on the water. It was weird. But I remember looking down at one point, and there was this, doesn't sound weird, but there's this head underwater being held by chains around its neck, right? And it was just a head. There was no body. This head, like, it was a decapitated head with chains around its neck being held underwater, right? And I looked down at it, and it started talking to me. The head was talking to me. And I asked it, because, you know, it wasn't giving me any bad vibes or anything. Like, I felt bad, honestly, because we were having, me and this head, or what was a person, were having a genuine conversation. And I was asking it, like, what is it doing down here? Like, why are you down here? And I can't remember what it told me. I don't remember the reason why it was down there. But all I remember it saying was, this is my torment. This is what it was for me. This is what I deserve. This is what I get for the things I had done against Christ and on this earth and in life. And the worst part about this head, like I said, because it was forced to look up. It was being held by chains, but it was forced to look up. And it told me to look up. And I looked up and I could see heaven. like in the clouds. It was so strange. There was clouds, and like you could see the kingdom, and it was forced to be underwater, suffocating pretty much, while it's like looking up and seeing what it's missing out on, all because it wanted to do what it wanted to do in life. And I kind of told it, I'm like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do, and I had to continue forward with what it was I was experiencing. And so I continued walking forward, and there was never really a closure part, an ending part to that person's hell. I only experienced what I experienced, the first version, the dark carnival thing, and then this person's torment. That's what I got to see and experience. And after I began walking away from the head, I woke back up in real life. And it was like 4 a.m, right? And I kind of laid there for about 30 seconds trying to comprehend what it was I just saw, because it was such a powerful feeling. It was such a powerful feeling, what I had just seen. And then it hit me, that was like, I just had a real vision from God. Like, God just showed me what's to come. Pick your destiny type of situation. Choose who you want to follow, But like I said, it was so powerful that everything's pitch black in my room. I rolled off of my bed, fell to the floor, and I started bawling, crying, because I was overwhelmed with this feeling. And I can't explain the feeling. Words can't explain it. But I just started crying and praying for repentance, and praying for everybody else in the world too, because no one should. I'd hope no one experiences that stuff. It's different for everybody. Not everyone's gonna have the same story, because not everybody's the same person. So God's gonna give you a vision and a way for you to understand it, and for you to spread it. But no, that's my testimony of the vision that I saw of the rapture. Definitely a little different than most, but I was praying for a long time when the right time was to share it, and I felt now was the time to share it. So that's all for today. Thank you all for listening. God be with everybody. Even if you're not a believer, I pray He be with you too. I pray that He shows and reveals Himself to you as well, with everybody else. But just remember to spread love on this earth. It's so corrupt these days, and you can't even have a conversation with somebody anymore. You can't. I don't know why, but it's corrupt. Everything's twisted. Evil is good now, and good is evil. If you know, you know. But that's it. Thank y'all for listening. And I almost forgot the most important part. If you are a believer, even if you have it in you and you don't believe, just try to pray for forgiveness. I know people are probably gonna dog on me and clown on me for sharing this video, my experiences and whatnot, my beliefs, but I don't care. I've come to a point in my life to where I just don't care who's in it anymore. All that matters in the end is as long as you got your family with you, and you're tight with God, close with the Lord, it's all that really matters. And if you're at peace and happy without either of those, good for you. I ask people pray for me, even if you don't believe. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I still struggle with nicotine. I gave it up once, but it's made its way back around. So that's all I ask in return. Anyway, y'all stay smooth.